Hi, I'm Lynne from Lines on Fitness.
Tanya from Live Wellness Life Coaching.
And this is our weekly Monday podcast. So today I made my own little kind of thing that I'm going to talk about, and I'm just going to blindside.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on here.
Blindside her with a little bit of it. So I was listening to a lot of Abraham Hicks in the last couple weeks, and there was something that she said that really, really hit me, because a lot of people that, not in like a lot of my immediate family, but people that I know, some people in my immediate family, they feel like they have no growth. They feel like they're stale. They feel like they're stuck. Okay, so the thing with that is that, and they're happy, but that's that whole stuck feeling. So this is the kind of that premise that we kind of go with the invest in yourself classes, like that whole are you stuck feeling, right? So a lot of the stuff that they say, and I'm just going to throw this out to you and see what you kind of go with that. But they say with when you're stale, there's no expansion, right? There's no growth.
Okay.
So a lot of people who don't know how to, or they get stuck and they don't know how to create an idea. Usually if they're stale, if you're at a stale job, or if you have no growth, life's instinct is to click in and gives you an idea.
Instincts?
It's an instinct. They say it's a life instinct that you create an idea.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, does that make sense to you guys?
If you're stale, if you're bored.
If you're bored, you're not sure where to go.
Stuck.
Life instinct is to create an idea. Now, a lot of ideas like that, it could be anything. It could pop out of the blue. It could be something you dreamt about. It could be something, whatever. Because I remember this one time we were doing something, and I believe it was in the Invest in Yourself, and somebody said that they forgot how to dream. Mm-hmm. Okay? So, again, to me, that would have that would be kind of on this premise here, would be because, again, they kind of maybe were just living and recycling the same life and not creating anything. So, how, in that place, so this is where I kind of wanted to ask you about this, is how do you think, or what do you think, or how do you explain how the idea, like, how do you explain maybe the idea that they have in their head, and how would they take it from the idea to creating? Do you know what I mean?
Okay, so assuming that everyone resonates, who's feeling kind of stuck or bored, has, pretty much everything, or at least a good momentum happening in their life, just nothing crazy exciting, kind of routine, right? Routine.
Yeah.
Okay. So assuming that everybody who is experiencing a routine type of life, not very exciting, has an idea. How do you take the idea and create? I would say step number one is acknowledging that idea can become.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like, way back when, I would have an idea. Like, okay, I'll tell you guys my idea. And if you guys take it and make money off of it, I will lose it. But here was my idea. When I had little kids, before I knew that before I had all this wonderful confidence and that I could make something and whatever, I had this crazy ass idea. And it was called the Mom's Car Organizer. I still have yet to do it, okay? Did I tell you about it? So I have like the DVD player in there. So it's always me in the front seat and the two kids in the back, and then I got the older kid, right? And then my front seat was always a mess. It had like everything in it. And I had this idea of, oh my gosh, wouldn't it be cool if I just had something that would sit on the front seat and I could put everything in there? Like all of our papers, our school papers, whatever, the DVD players, the DVDs, the everything that a mother could, the toys, everything. I never did it because I didn't have a clue how to do it. So that was my bright idea. And I thought, oh my gosh, if somebody sold, like, I know they have like the car organizers that you can kind of hook up to the back of the seat, but I needed something that when somebody occasionally came into my car, I could fold it up, pick it up, and then just put it in the back or in the trunk. Easy peasy. Right? So that was my idea. Never did anything with it. So that was my routine idea. Yeah. Oh, wouldn't this be great and exciting and spice my life up a little bit if I could do this, right? Yeah. So, but you know what I did with that? I didn't do anything with it because I thought, I'm too busy. I'm a mom. Nothing's going to come of it. I didn't have the mindset that I do today. One more thing to add to that. If you guys know me or have attended one of the Invest in Yourself classes, you know that I love Brian Tracy. He was like the door opening for this whole mindset stuff, okay?
Yeah.
And he always said that people have at least $1 to $2 million ideas every day. Every day. But they just ignore it. They just ignore it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like in one of the webinars I talk about, the Get Fit Challenge webinars, I talk about that daydreaming.
Yeah.
Okay. And I wrote a blog on daydreaming and how many people daydream about winning the lottery or something like that. And then they're like, oh, that's never going to happen.
Yeah. So it's.
But you have these ideas and then you go, meh, that's not going to happen. Meh, not good enough. Not good enough. Not good enough.
Yeah. Little things that you're interested in. Usually they say when you're kind of in a stuck position, it comes to you in an idea, usually in a dream. This is like the few of them that I listened to was it came in a dream. Somehow in your dream, that's when your momentum stops. That's when everything kind of just stops and your body's just at complete rest. Nothing happens. You have no momentum towards any negative feelings. You have no momentum towards positive feelings. It just stops.
Yeah, because when you want to say if you're in a really crappy mood, and remember we talked about law of attraction, so if you're really vibrating down here in a really bad mood, in order to reset that, to raise your vibration, you either meditate, do a couple of processes that we teach, or you take a nap.
Yeah. And it completely stops it, and then usually it gives you that refresh button. Okay? That's like the refresh button for the course of the day. If you're having a really bad day, you want to stop that momentum happening. So the idea, they say, usually comes to you in a dream. And when you wake up from that, usually there are signs of that idea somewhere along your path of the day or in the next day or whatever. So this is where, to me, where the idea kicks in is the Stephen Pressfield War of Art kicks in. If you have the idea, he also says it in Turning Pro, where it's like you have an amateur and a professional. And it says in here too, Turning Pro. So the amateur never really lives. They actually call it in Turning Pro, calling it a shadow symphony, a shadow type life, where you're kind of living it, but you're never living what your soul's purpose or your muse or whatever term you want to use there is supposed to be. Mm-hmm. So they say the professional, or
that's why you always have this kind of lacking type feeling.
Yeah, because you're missing it.
Missing feeling. Yeah.
So like if I wasn't a coach, and if I wasn't a personal trainer, and if I wasn't doing these podcasts and these things that I really, really love to do, I'd probably be an electrician still. And as much fun as that was, it was definitely not filling my life's purpose. It was not my goal. It wasn't what my intention for this life was, as I believe. I mean, if this resonates with you or not, but everybody is born to do something awesome in this world.
Can I just add something to that?
Sure.
Okay. I totally get that. I totally agree. Like, I'm the same way too. And I know many people around me that are the same way. It's kind of like your dharma, right? Yeah. Like you're fulfilling your life's mission, your passion or whatever. Now, but for many people, their life's passion really isn't about their job. So they're okay at whatever job. Yeah. For some people, their passion is being that mentor to somebody else in their life, or to a group of people in their life, or creating financial abundance is more important. Creating financial abundance for their family is more important than the type of work that they do. And that's totally fine.
Yeah, that's totally cool. But at the same time, then, at the end of the day, wouldn't that almost be the same?
Yes, but I think that for myself, if I wasn't sure what life's passion was, I would assume that it's your career.
Yeah. So
I just wanted to clarify that. Yeah.
But, okay, so for me, it was a career. And you know when my idea came was when I lost the weight. And I heard I was actually watching The Biggest Loser one time, and it was this one guy, and it was this line, and this one line only, that changed everything for me. If you have 45 minutes to watch TV, you have 45 minutes to work out. Yeah. And that changed my life. Yeah. I lost 50 pounds. I got my personal training certificate. I started working out working with Sustainable Fitness. I got my CrossFit level 1, and then I opened LDF. And now I'm on the brink of getting my own gym. I'm on the brink of getting my own CrossFit gym. I'm on the brink of getting all this stuff now. Why? Because of that one line, that one idea. And then the part of turning pro to amateur is I took that idea and I didn't let fear stop me.
Okay. My life-changing quote was, and it still is, whenever I see it, I kind of get a flashback and kind of get a spark in my ass again. It's, a year from now, you'll wish you had started today.
Yeah, that's a big one.
That when I see, the first time I seen that quote was the first time I signed up for my very first boot camp.
Oh, yeah?
That was a couple of years ago.
That's good.
Yeah.
And yeah, but I mean, and so see, like, and like those ideas, they spawn from one little thing that inspired you, that kind of like, it lit that little fire inside, and you had no idea what it was, and you have no idea, like, when I heard that quote, all I knew is I wanted to lose the weight. All of a sudden, I wanted to lose 50 pounds. I mean, I used to be 190 pounds. And for me, that was a huge success. Alone was admitting, going, okay, I'm ready now to lose the weight.
Was that with child?
After my kids. It was about
190 after birth.
Yeah, it was 190 after birth.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't the healthiest of people before, because I mean, we would eat just junk food all the time, and I was very, very inactive from being a girl that used to play sports all the time in my 20s. To hitting my late 20s, and then when I met my, baby daddies, my baby daddy, I gained the weight. So we gained weight together. We had kids, and then I wanted to change my life because I was no longer happy. I heard that line, and it sparked me to lose the weight. And then it was just an idea after an idea and after an idea, and that was 4.5, almost 5 years ago, I heard that line. About 5 years ago, I heard that line. So in 5 years, it took me 5 years to get here. But a lot of the times in that 5 years, until I started practicing a lot of this stuff, it wouldn't have happened if I wouldn't have started practicing a lot of the allowing and the attraction and blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. It wasn't happening before because I didn't know how to really work it before. It's just to say, though, like, you get those people, you get the spark, you get the idea, and then you get the people that come into your life to help develop it. Yeah. Just because you attract it. Yeah. You have to practice the law of attraction when it comes to that. Now, you get the idea, then you need to deliberately create it, right? Because you got to act towards it. Am I following you? You're following me? Yeah.
I'm waiting, yeah.
And then, but without the variety of any of the options, you can never choose. Because if it's only, so if you're stale and you're stuck, and you never have that variety of options, you stay stale and stuck.
What we consciously think about, okay, kind of limits us.
Yeah.
Right? So if we have an idea, say we have an idea to make that mom's car organizer, okay? So all my thoughts go into that. And I'm like, this is the one way that I am going to make money and be financially well off. Okay. Whereas if I limit myself to that one idea, that one option of making enough money, then I'm kind of blocking myself off to all these other avenues as well. Okay. That's, we hear about people, really wealthy people owning multiple businesses, right? Because they open themselves out to a variety of opportunities rather than just focusing on the one.
Yep.
Okay. That's kind of like what I do within my business, and I think you do as well. Not only do you have LDF, but we also invest in yourself, the podcast. I have Live Wellness, and I do invest in yourself classes, the podcast, the Empowering Kids Camp, and the online class. Like, I have a number of opportunities that I've created because I'm trying not to get into the universal, like God or the universe or divinity. They have infinite ideas that you consciously may not be aware of.
Yeah.
Is that too much crazy talk?
I think you can kind of almost break it down even simpler terms. You can just say, think of your main idea as a river, but never close yourself off to streams that join your river.
Okay.
Because if you're constantly building barriers and this is your end goal, you're going to miss all these opportunities that can lead you to oceans of ideas.
Yes.
So never.
That's pretty much what I'm saying.
Yeah. So absolutely. Pretty much what you're saying. You never want to. You never want the veer off of that, and you always want to allow those streams to come in, because if you don't, then you completely stay.
You kind of you limit yourself.
Completely.
You block
You put
yourself
your
up.
blinders on, and that's it. And
Because that might not be like everybody here has like a sole purpose. Do you know what I mean? Like everybody has a passion. Usually what you're extremely passionate about that you could do all day long is for no money is your passion.
Yeah.
Okay? And that's kind of like your purpose.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So everybody kind of has that. So if you find something to make money and you limit yourself to that one direction, you're kind of closing yourself off to that inspiration, that passion.
And that you nailed it on the head. Like, I think that was something that we took in CAVS, the Fabienne course, was the one thing that you can, and this is something that if you are feeling stuck, what is the one thing that you can do all day long, other than sit and watch TV, clearly, like, but it's an idea. What can you do all day long and get paid nothing for it and love it? I can coach 10 hours straight and never get paid a dime for it, and I would do it daily. When I don't coach on Sundays, it feels like something's off. I feel weird. I work from 4:30 in the morning till 10 o'clock at night. Work, quote unquote. But it's not work to me. I choose to do it because it's fun. I choose to come here on Wednesdays or whatever and do all this stuff. And then I choose to work all day on Monday to pump out all the podcasts and do all the editing. And you just, it's fun and it's exciting and I get paid for this. This is what I get to do now and get paid for this. But before, where I was feeling stuck, this is my life. I have to do this over and over. I have to wake up at 7 o'clock. I have to go to a job I hate, and I have to do this till 3 o'clock, and then I have to fight rush hour traffic to get home, and that's my life. So then I was doing, was recycling, I can't do it, energy all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And, yeah, because then you recycle the I can't energy. Oh, what's the point? I'm never going to get that.
Nelson, what do you say to people who don't like their job, but need their job to pay the rent?
Then I think you try to find something in your spare time that allows you to be able to do something. Everybody has that thing. Whether or not it's music, if it's because I got a lot of people in my life that like to play music. They one's a piano teacher. You like to play the guitar, and it's trying to find it into your daily routine or somewhere. But if it's important enough for you, you're going to make the time for it, right? Does that make sense? So if you have that one idea, and yes, you need the 9-to-5 job because not everybody is able to create something like that and then say, okay, I quit everything. But sometimes, and how many success stories have you heard of people quitting their jobs? And now they have the fear of God that they have to actually put the work into what they want to do. Not like the fear of God, but you know what I mean.
No.
But they have now but they have that now I have to do my work. And when I read a lot of the Stephen Pressfield stuff, that's what he did. He cut himself off from the world for 1 full year. Cut himself off the world. The only time he ever interacted with anybody was when he ran out of money and he went and go save a bit of money. He would work for 2-3 months and then he'd go back into his shack and he would finish his book. Did he publish his first book? No. Did he publish the second book? No. Did he publish his first 10 screenplays? No. But he took the time and he worked when he needed to work to make his dream and his success and his goal in life a success. And this guy, now with the War of Art and the Turning Pro, and then now all his books that are out there, his screenplays, he's got a whole bunch of screenplays out there.
He's got a ton of books.
And he's successful. Why? Because he put the work into his passion, and he worked the 9-to-5 when he needed to work the 9-to-5. But he always kept the time to get into the other place. And I think that to hop over, to get into what you need, I think it's to get over that fear that it's just not going to work. It's just not going to be there. It's too saturated. Like, I could say that with my CrossFit gym. It's too saturated in there. In Winnipeg, we have 6, 7, 8 gyms that are CrossFit gyms. We have 2 in Transcona. We're going to have 2 in Transcona once I open up. But if I keep that mentality, it's never going to happen. And I had to work, I had to work 9-to-5 job too. I had to have my daycare when I had sustainable fitness, but I did both. I managed to make the time to do both. So trust me, I know what it is to have to work and then work. It's a matter of, do you want to get out of that stale energy, or
And
do you want to come?
while you're in the process of it, this really helps too is, okay, so if you are in fact working a job that you're not really passionate about, you don't really enjoy, you wish you could be doing something else, acknowledging it, step one. Okay.
Basically.
Step two, figuring out what it is it that you want to be doing. What is it? Step three, how do you figure, I don't know, I didn't even write these down, but step three, it's like, okay, well, how can I figure out how to do a little bit of it? And look at your current job as a stepping stone to get you to where you have to go right now. So you kind of change your outlook on, I have to do this, rather, I want to keep my current job because it's assisting me in reaching
the next step to that.
Yeah, I guess
there's maybe a lesson that you could
getting
learn.
you to living your passion, right?
Yeah.
So there's a few different ways that you can change your mindset around your current job to help you get to what you really, really want to do.
Yeah, like and actually that's funny that you say that, because there was a thing that I had listened to a little while ago, and this guy hated his job. He hated his boss. His boss, he said, treated him like an idiot, blah, 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 blah. He hated it. And then she's like, well, what if you just went to that job? And because he had said, like, he wants to be an actor or a screenplay writer or whatever it was. And she's like, why don't you learn what you need to learn from that job? And instead of resenting it and hating it, absorb what you need to absorb, and then block out the negative stuff, and then use it, like you said, as a stepping stone to something else. Because no matter what area you're in it, I think, for a specific reason. Either because you haven't realized what you need to get out of it, or because there's something that you really, really fundamentally need to learn from it. And you're going to stay in that situation until that lesson has been beaten down on you. And then, like, for the people, like you had said before, like, how do you, if you're working the 9 to 5 and you're dependent on that thing, well, then all the extra stuff that you're doing, like, so if you're sitting on Facebook for 3 hours a day, do you think that maybe you could take, 2 hours of that and put it into something that you want to create in your life? So taking away the distractions, and maybe
how many hours of TV do you watch a day?
Yeah, like, 45 minutes to watch TV.
That's my downtime. Yes, but wouldn't you rather be doing something that you absolutely passionate about on your downtime, that inspires you, that creates energy?
And when you guys work the jobs that you are created to do, like when you work these things, and I mean, and if you're really happy in your job, and it's not the job that's bugging you, maybe it's you, that's the career you want to be in, but there's something, romance, relationships, what was the other ones that we were talking about? Health, travel, anything that you guys want to imply, there's always a reason to not do something. There's always a reason to kind of settle for something. There's always a reason to kind of just, well, I'm never going to travel. The other day I heard one where she's like, I'm going to travel, I'm going to go to Italy, I'm going to go to Switzerland, blah, 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 and then I'm going to come home. Well, if I just end up back home, why am I going at all? Why am I going to go experience that when I'm just going to end up back home? She's like, but then what do? You miss the whole journey. You miss the whole learning process. You miss the whole experience of that. So why not take a jump at whatever it is that you might find yourself stuck in? And we're using career here as kind of the main core, but it doesn't have to be career. It could be anything that's in your life. Yeah.
Usually in our society here in Winnipeg, or with the people that we're surrounded with, it has a lot to do with career because it has a lot to do with money.
Yeah.
Right? And why do we want money? Why do we want money? Because we want the experience, we want joy, we want freedom, and so on and so forth, right? So that's usually why the majority of people target financial, like in career.
Yeah.
Actually, well, the majority of the people that we're surrounded with, it's targeted around health and weight loss and with getting healthy and things like that. But again, why do you want that? Because you want to be happy. Yeah.
And you got to think, like, it's human nature, and just like the universe, it's forever expanding. Your life is forever expanding. If you're staying stale and you're staying stuck in whatever situation that you happen to be stuck in, like, it's in your human nature to keep expanding that and to get out of that stuck circulation. It's a circle, right? You're always going to go around and around. Yeah, you're never going to get out of that. So And like what I really, really like, the quote, one of my favorite quotes out of that whole spiel that I had heard from Abraham Hicks was, you can't know what you, what is it? You can't know what you want until you've experienced something other than.
So I love how she always says, when you focus on something that you don't want, you know what you want.
Yeah.
Period. If you look at your partner and you go, I don't want you, I am not happy with you. When you're at your job and you're like, I don't like this, then you know what you want.
Yeah.
You know what you want. You know you want something different.
Yeah, that yucky feeling, that pull down, that whatever, you know you don't want that. So
yeah,
your law of polarity is going to give you the other one.
Yeah, the polar opposite. Yeah.
And that has
when
fast become one of my,
you know what you want.
Yeah, that has fast become one of my favorite quotes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, have a great day. We'll see you later. Bye.